YouTube. Got my pal Ivor's bass in for a rewire. Basically, pickup wasn't working. Sorted it now. So this is an Epiphone Embassy bass. Does it have a serial number? It does. Starts with 18. But it says Epiphone 2017 on the back on it's not a sticker, a print. So 2017, 2018, something like that. So quite new. Might even still be in the range. Yeah, so this one has been altered a bit, as in a previous owner has taken the covers off the pickups. These do look actually pretty cool, but if you look around about them, you can see there's screw holes, which I offered to try and make pickup rings for it, but to be honest, I'm not sure I'm accurate enough to try and make it out of metal. So I've basically just fixed it, and one of the problems that it had when you take the covers off these, the covers on these are actually got, I looked it up on eBay, there's one on eBay just now, Epiphone Embassy bass, big chrome things with the chrome rings on them, and to be honest, I'm not sure it doesn't actually look better like this, with big bar magnet humbuckers. They are the original pickups, because they say Epiphone, designed by Epiphone USA or something on the back of them, because I had to take this one out. One of the problems with this was, when you take the covers off, the covers were holding the bobbins onto the back plate, so these pickups actually just kind of fell about. It was the magnets on the back of the pickups that were holding them onto this metal plate, and that's one of the reasons why this bridge pickup had broken, because the pickup basically just fell off sometimes. and one of the wires had actually come off the back of the actual pickup. But sorted now, and I've super glued them on, so they ain't going nowhere. Yeah, so where's my measuring tape? I knew there was something. I was sitting there before I hit record. I was like, I'm going to bring my measuring tape just to see what scale length it is. It feels like a 34, but is it? It feels like a 34 because it is. So it's full size bass, set neck. I would take a guess that this is mahogany neck and mahogany body. It's got these type of tuners, which I actually prefer to the big open ones that you get on the Epiphone EBO. This is a much better bass than the EBO. Pretty much immediately as soon as you pick it up. I'm actually gigging an Epiphone EBO just now, so I do kind of know. And that Epiphone EBO I've got, the one that I painted with stripes on it, is much better than earlier versions of it. EBOs are a bit. I had the first one, I seem to remember the serial number being 9800000008. So I think I had the 8th ever Epiphone EBO bass. If anyone's got that, then I'd probably buy it back just for sentimental reasons. But they were not particularly good basses. I had a terrible time. I couldn't believe how different it was from actually, because at the time I didn't know any better. It was definitely not as good as the Aria Pro that I sold. I sold for 60 quid trading in against it. But I got that back, so there was a happy ending. The one of these I see on eBay has a black scratch plate. This one has a white, but apart from that, it looks exactly the same. These are not the original knobs either. These look like SG knobs, and like all SG knobs, the wee metal bit that says tone has fallen out of this. This one. So this should originally have had a volume, a blend pot, and a tone control, a master tone control, but I've rewired it like a jazz bass, so it's volume for this pickup, overall tone. Did I mention it was a set neck? I probably did. I like this. There's a guitar I quite like the look of. I've got a feeling it's called a Wiltshire or something like that. I think it was like one of those Epiphone designs like before Gibson bought them, maybe, or just after Gibson bought them, when they were still actually a separate company, when they weren't like the budget version of Gibson. Epiphone were their own brand in their own right, like the Epiphone Casino and stuff like that. We're like a total competitor of the 335. So I think this is like an old design. Whether it was ever a bass or not, I don't know. But there's definitely guitars, the Coronet maybe called, something like that, Wiltshire and Coronet, which kind of look a bit like this. There's one version of it that kind of looks like a double cut Telecaster. I really like the look of. I think they actually reissued them relatively recently. They're not that cheap though. I refuse to buy things that are new anyway. So I'm just going to play a bit of a groove with using Marshall B150 bass amp. I've got a drummer pedal just coming through my guitar amp. So that's bridge pickup. Tone back up again. Can't slap. Both pickups on. And like with a jazz bass, I'd imagine there's probably a sweet spot. So that's them both up at full. Turn one of them down normally. You end up with good sounds. In an effort to pad out the video for a bit longer, I will now play with a fuzz pedal through the guitar amp over the top of it. So I'll go into the bridge pickup, turn that up, then. So if I go into that, it should be coming through the guitar amp. Why not? "15, 17, 19, 20 frets. Actually, I really like this bass. It's very easy to play as far as basses go. It balances pretty much perfectly. Actually, maybe it wants to sit a little bit more. Okay, there maybe is a little bit of neck dive. Not that you should be expecting to do that. I mean, I'm not using a particularly grippy strap or anything like that. So maybe if you're going to do a bit of that sort of dancing, it does kind of maybe a little bit of neck dive, but not too bad. It's a classic, and what I think the best thing about it is it's not one of the normal shapes. I have always struggled a bit with basses in the looks department because you get your jazz bass, your P bass, your Mustang bass, you get your EBO, you get your Thunderbird. I mean, it's kind of it, really, of this super famous bass shapes, and so many other ones after that. Like I did a review one the other day. I can't remember what make it was. It was a PV, and like the Ibanez sound gear and stuff. They look really futuristic and modern. Like even though they start like your sort of Warwick look, you know, where it's really, really bendy and sort of technical looking. Lots of basses like that, but I don't like them at all. I'd much prefer the guitar's got to look good. I mean, that's why I like these things. But you don't see these things ever, so you don't get a bass like that these days. I really, I just think it just seems, it's very simple. Okay, it does have 2 humbuckers in it, but it's very simple and it just seems to work. The neck is actually quite wide. As I said, it's quite especially when you get up here, it's quite, which is good. It's definitely a lot. I mean, I'm comparing it to the Epiphone EBO, even just because it's an Epiphone as well. It's got a much thinner neck. It's kind of almost like holding on to the thick end of a snooker cue. The Epiphone, this is definitely wider. And pretty much faultless. I mean, really, apart from as the previous owner decided they didn't like the super chrome pickups. To be honest, I think the super chrome pickups just made it look, they look quite cheap. If you look it up on, can't bother putting a link up. The one that's up there is 325 quid. It says it's brand new, but still in its box. So I think it's sort of used. But so I mean, I think you're probably talking, I don't know, retail pricing is probably what, 350, somewhere between 300 and 400, I would think. And for that, good bass. Also, just a little bit different. The bridges, yeah, maybe. It's in tones, but I mean, looking at it, you look at where the saddles are, they're all right at the back. So it's got like a sort of like a tunomatic bridge. In fact, actually, this bridge is actually not that dissimilar to what's on my 8-string bass, apart from it's got 8 saddles instead of 4. My Washburn 8-string bass, and then it's got a super clampy tailpiece thing. But it feels really good and out the way. Basically, ergonomically fantastic. And the Epiphone headstock actually suits this bass, unlike quite a lot of the the EBO. Kind of look at it and go, oh, or they did it intentionally with Epiphone. They put a sort of an odd looking headstock on it so people would spend the extra money and buy a Gibson SG rather than an Epiphone one. But on this one, totally perfect for this body. I wish I should have. I didn't want to tune someone else's bass. I'm trying to learn some new Black Sabbath songs for the Sabbath band. Some really quite obscure ones, but from the Sabbath Body Sabbath album, which is all tuned down to C sharp. So I can't. Otherwise, I would have used this opportunity to practice. But so I've just got this tuned to normal. That's my C sharp bass there. Although I'm sure it could take this. This could take C sharp, no problem. And to be honest, I don't think I'd be fine with playing this in the Black Sabbath band if I had it. So it gets a big thumbs up for me if you're looking at an Embassy bass. It's very nice. Weight wise, it's right in the middle. It's not heavy, it's not light, it's just right. We've got like a Goldilocks bass. Actually looks a wee bit like Geezer Butler plays one. John Birch made one at the California Jam. If you ever look that up, and it's his bass is not unlike this shape wise. It's all white, but it looks very similar. Yeah, it's just. I don't know, something about it just makes it really easy to play. Why is that? Maybe it doesn't seem as long as some other basses. I think it's partly to see because it's got like a 2-a-side headstock. So the headstock only goes to here, whereas if you add 4 tuners, the headstock goes out to here, which makes the whole thing just a bit bigger. It seems relatively compact and a bit more guitar-y, and the body seems to sit more here rather than sitting there, which basses sometimes do. This one seems to be more of a more guitar-y feeling, like just with the weight and where you're actually playing it. I would have a little slight critique of the dots on the end of the fingerboard. Just it's bad light in here, you can see them, but just because the light's coming in the window there, I can't really see them very well. They could maybe have used a slightly brighter plastic or something, I think you get glow in the dark ones these days or something just to make it a little bit easier to see. That's not really any criticism I would have. Also, I suppose, annoying having these pickups because I was looking for covers and stuff, and I was, as I said, I was going to try and make pickup rings for it, but unless you look at it really closely, you can't really see what's going on. But they are cool pickups and they sound amazing, big humbuckers, but they're not a generic size. So if one of them goes or you fancy changing pickups, you are putting bits of scratch plate on to hide the size of the hole, or you're routing it to take bigger pickups. These are not standardy sized ones. At least I don't think so. I had a look for bass pickups covers and they didn't have anything that looked anything like this on eBay. So I've no idea when I'll put this video up. My Mad Malco t-shirt during the wash. I didn't plan ahead perfectly this week. Normally I kind of keep a t-shirt where I basically am wearing another t-shirt during the day, and I've got a t-shirt sitting on top there or sitting in the heater. You probably see that I can just stick on for the half hour I'm doing a video and then take it off again, and that doesn't count as wearing it for a whole day, so I can wear it again the following day for an hour. There's logic in it. I think Pete Venkman describes this better in Ghostbusters 2, when it's like, you women have got so there's just the things that are either dirty or clean. With men, there's varying grades of dirty and clean. So it's like this shirt, for example, hang out outside the window for 20 minutes, clean. Yeah, that kind of idea. So I will see you on Sunday for live stream. Today's Thursday, so I might put this out today. I kind of decided I was going to stop doing videos on Thursday because no one ever watches them. But it depends what sort of mood I'm in, how I feel. Wing it, see what happens.